Hey guys, so I've got my tea here today. I'm drinking this Azerbaijan tea my parents got from the grocery store. It's really good. Like, there's something about like Middle Eastern. Does Azerbaijan count as Middle East? I guess it does. Asia, kind of. Anyways, teas from that area have this like depth. It's kind of like Indian teas. They have this depth, and I would say a little dark depth. They have like some gravity to them, and I really like that. I guess that's like with black teas in general, because lately I've been drinking mostly herbal teas, and herbal teas feel really light because I guess they don't have caffeine. So it's basically like drinking flavored water. But when you drink black tea, there's caffeine, so it's a little different. But I just wanted to talk about grief and just talk about it, because it's not just on my mind, it's in my body right now and this morning. And it's just difficult, but really, really necessary. And I wanted to talk about kind of where it came from for me, because I think it's interesting and a little bit unexpected. The last couple days ago, I was thinking I need to clean my room. Like, I live in two places basically. I live at my grandma's apartment, which is like about a 10-minute bike ride, and I live in this house. But mainly for the last half a year, I've been at my grandma's house, especially when I had university classes, because it's closer to the public buses for me to take to get downtown to my university. But now that it's summer, you know, I spend a little more time here with my dog in the backyard and stuff, because there's a little more space here. And my room, I kind of just abandoned when I moved into my grandma. I took like only the essentials and kind of left everything else in my room upstairs. And so a couple days ago, I was like, I should clean, I should organize it, and not just like shove everything in the closet, like really take everything out, all the clothes, all the things. And I have so many clothes because I'm a very serious, I was way more serious thrifter for the last 5 years. Like, it's 5 years worth of clothes that accumulated, like since I was like 13. And I don't wear like 95% of them. So I really had to be honest. It provoked a lot more emotion than I thought it would, because I'm like sorting through the clothes and I'm deciding what to, you know, what I don't wear. And I'd say like 75% of the time it's pretty easy. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't worn that in like 2 years, like goodbye. But I was looking and finding clothes, and I don't know if it's just the way I am, but there was many of them that I just had memories. My storage ran out. I had to delete an app. I think it's a human thing though. I don't think it's just me. But I had some really personal, like, core memories attached to some of the clothes. And it made it hard to let go of them. And I was wondering, why is it so hard for me to let go of just an object? Because I am generally not a very materialistic person. The only thing in like the physical world that I really, really, really treasure are my journals that I cut out again. Man, my storage is really low. I need to clear out my phone because it's messy like my room. So I was talking about my journals, and they're like the only thing I really treasure, because it's like chronicles of my entire life that I wouldn't have remembered a lot of things if I didn't write them down. Like, I have like me in 3rd grade, like bitching about like a new girl in class or getting a hamster. It's really cute. And like, I have travel journals from when I was 5 years old still. So those things are important to me. But I didn't realize how much weight clothes also held, which now obviously makes sense, at least for me, because I usually buy one thing or a couple things and wear them every single day for like a season of my life, especially with shoes. Like when I get a new pair of shoes, like I'm very, very, very picky about what they are because they kind of set the tone for the next like part of my life. And I guess that's kind of how I look back on parts of my life. Like I see an old pair of shoes, I'm like, oh, I remember like the 6 months or like the year that I wore them. Like I went to this place, I went to that place, you know, I spent it with these people. And I knew that about shoes. And it's easy to let go of shoes because literally when there's like a hole in them, then it's like, okay, throw them out. Like it's pretty simple. But with like t-shirts, which I love and I wear all the time, I really forgot how many memories they hold because it's not like they wear down in a year. Like I wore the same shirts for like a year or 2 years, and it just reminds me of people that I lost and really, really good memories that are painful to remember despite them being really good, because I'm not gonna be able to experience things like that anymore with those people in those vibes, if that makes sense. And now as I'm talking, I'm realizing that this is all making space for new vibes and new experiences and things that I couldn't have imagined to experience. Things I couldn't imagine that I would experience. And, you know, in the feeling, it's hard to remember that that's like a beautiful thing. But even now through talking about it, I feel a little better. And what's pretty cool about me starting to clear up my closet, I feel like I had to delete a lot of my old videos right now just to make storage for this. Oh my god. I think I was talking about the unexpected ideas and things that come when you do the things you're avoiding. Because I was avoiding cleaning my room. I started cleaning my room. I got the great idea to have a garage sale, dude. And now for the next week, I'm actually excited when I wake up in the morning because I'm like collecting my clothes. I'm talking to my friends, being like, hey, you want some of my clothes? I'll give it to you. And thinking about how I'm gonna put the signs in the neighborhood. Apparently that's illegal, or there's like some bylaws about that, my mom told me. But I don't think it's that deep. I'll honestly look into it. And I also wanted to talk to this house near me that recently had a garage sale like about a week ago and see like how that went, because I don't want to put all this effort into it and then like no one comes. I would rather just like donate all these clothes. But the reason I'm not is because they're really good quality, and if people actually come and like intentionally pick them out, then I think they're more likely to wear them than just like picking them out at Value Village like randomly. But again, I'll donate them if all else fails. I already feel better. That's amazing. And like I've been meaning to not just finish my driving course that I'm doing like online, but also start like a Photoshop course and like Adobe's and stuff like during the summer, because I'm really, really inexperienced with it and I really, really need it for graphic design. But I've been avoiding it, and I guess it's because of all this like clutter, and like the physical clutter reflects in mental clutter. So taking in new information and learning new things is a little more, there's a little more resistance and less space for new things to come in. And like I started learning that in terms of people, like keeping people around me that, you know, are good for you, and those that aren't, clearing them out so that there's space for eventually new people. Oh my, I'm so happy I grew my hair out, and I'm still growing it out. Yeah, clearing people out, with kindness and all love, but I need space. And it's really, really nice to recognize that, because before I didn't really believe in this. I would be like, you're just making excuses, and not to like do your Photoshop course, but bullying your way into doing anything, I tried bullying my way into doing things and obviously never worked. I'll actually read some stuff that I wrote yesterday because it's really, really on topic and it's basically what I've been thinking about. Just observations, because yesterday I feel like I was really present and I learned a lot of things that I don't learn all the time, or at least they're always there for me to learn, but I was just present to like receive. So yeah, here I wrote, following what you avoid will lead you to things you couldn't have otherwise imagined. Oh, and this is interesting. I wrote, just cleaning my closet and reflecting on my attachment to material stuff made me want to get rid of it because there's resistance there. And I'm like, hey, I don't want to be bound by physical things, especially physical things that don't really matter to me that much. Like, as long as I have clothes on my back and like they're clothes that I like, thankfully, what more do I need? So I don't need like a closet full of clothes. I started clearing it out yesterday and I already have 2.5 garbage bags filled, and there's more to go. Like, there's more to go. So feels good to let it go. I wrote, my own efforts of intentionality makes me want to make space for others to be intentional as well. Hence the garage sale. Because I don't know who lives in my neighborhood that much. Like, I see people here and there, but hopefully people that I've never met come around. Being playful in all aspects of life and interacting with yourself like you're a kid brings incredible joy. Have to do something, don't want to, bargain with the voice that's resisting. Give it something that'll make it happy despite the challenge, or that'll help it through the challenge. So I try not to eat and watch TV or read while I do it, but literally yesterday I wanted to watch this video and I had my food ready and I was like, okay, eat your food, because like the voice in my head was like, there was one voice that was like, no, don't watch TV, and that felt really restricting. And then the other voice was like, let's watch TV and like stay here for a long time and da 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 da. So I had to find a compromise. So I was like, okay, eat your lunch watching the TV, watch one video, and then go eat your dessert. It was like a smoothie bowl I made. Go eat that without TV. It was great. It was great. Not perfect, but it was great. I was like, hey, maybe moderation and being nice to yourself works. Such simple things. I wrote, speaking in a relaxed and personal manner with my new doctor. Yeah, I went to a doctor and just like, I guess being myself in new situations is always something that I'm developing, because I'm developing myself and me is changing and growing, and I do my best to stay in that regardless of where I am or what's happening. Simplicity is key. Kind of back with the closet. Less stuff and clutter equals more space. More space is more freedom, and more freedom is simplicity. I wrote, all, and I mean all, areas of your life deserve the same respect and level of presence. I would dismiss my messy room because technically I don't live there. The cluttered space still affected me. Cleaning the space brought forth momentum to my life. So now I'm planning a garage sale. It's exciting. I've never done one before. Oh, this also happened yesterday. Turn off your thoughts when you're hungry and or upset. Thinking in those states is damaging to your life. You're not thinking from a place of your highest being. Consciously make an active effort to not think. Focus on sensations and breathing. Yeah, I got really upset yesterday because I had a conversation with my mom. And I just came home because we were walking my dog. And then I just came home and I was just upset. And I was even more upset because I was hungry. And then it felt like I started thinking about the negatives of the problem that I was talking about. It's not even a problem, of just the situation I was talking about, and all the negatives and other, like, and it's like all of it's just kind of coming down on me. And then I was like, Karina, pause. shut off your brain, go eat. Then I ate, I felt a little better, but the upset was still there, and it's kind of why I woke up. Not upset, I was just grieving. Grief is the best word I could put to it. Refrain from explaining yourself unless someone specifically asks for an explanation. It takes unnecessary energy, more often than not, causes more confusion than clarity, and it shows uncertainty and rush. So yeah, I was talking to my doctor. I guess that's where I got this idea from yesterday. And he was like asking, I went for my bad knee, and he was asking like, what happened to your knee? What did you do? And I was like, oh, I did a pistol squat, and then I fell really hard to the ground. And then a couple months later, now it started hurting again. And he's like, whoa, 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 slow down. Let's talk about the first thing first. And then I kind of realized that, yeah, I was talking fast. And yeah, I should give people more space and time to process what I'm saying, because I tend to talk really fast, which also I want to change, and I will change. It's better to go slowly than to go faster. Because if you're talking slowly and it's clear that the person wants more information, they'll ask, right? And if they don't, that's their problem. I want to do that, and I noticed that yesterday. On a similar theme, read closely and consciously when you're reading any text. I got that yesterday too. I got that thought when I was reading a book in the morning, and it was about language. It gave me a list of sentences, right? And it was talking about how we instinctively learn language as kids, especially our native language, and how you don't have to like sit down and teach a child how to speak, like they just pick it up from adults most of the time. And so it was giving examples of like grammar that we just instinctively pick up, and then it gave another example of grammar that's awkward, that we instinctively know not to say, because it's not talking about written stuff, it's talking about more speech, the book. And it was like, how come we don't say this, even though it's just like one little switch of a word? And so I was reading the first set of sentences that were like correct. Why is someone calling me? Some rando was calling me. But why do we speak in this way naturally, but we don't make mistakes like these because they're awkward? Pretty sure that's what it was talking about. And I was rereading the second list, and the second list, I was like, it's literally the same thing as this list. Like, I literally couldn't see the difference. I kept rereading it, and I was like, why did you put the same list? This isn't making sense with what you're saying. But then I kept reading, and it went into the details of the second set of sentences that were awkward. And I was like, hold up, let me reread it. And after reading it, like, dissect it, I realized that in the initial, like, set of them, it was actually written like that, and I misread them, even though I went over them multiple times. And then I was like, it's because I wasn't, like, going word by word. It's because I was kind of, like, overviewing the whole sentence, you know, how I read, like, things. And it's just kind of like a theme in my life. Like, since I was little, I always forgot and overlooked little details. I remember in, like, math class in, like, elementary school when we had to, like, draw bar graphs and shit, I would always forget to like title the X and the Y axis like over and over, and the teachers would be like, Karina, just do it, you'll get full marks if you just do it. And I'd be like, okay, and then I would just forget to do it. But like all my stuff was always correct. I would just forget these little things. Or like I was doing math in high school, and like I'd be doing like these equations and like advanced functions, and there would be a part, that's my speaker, it shut down. There would be a part of the equation where it was literally like, what's 5 plus 3? And I would write 7, and that would fuck up the whole equation, and my whole answer would be wrong. And it's like really simple things that aren't difficult, I tend to overlook. So I wrote down literally that. I wrote, you tend to miss little details in language. I guess language I mean by reading. And in effect, things in life, and in effect, things in life, because you examine the overall pictures and themes rather than the details. Learn to balance your weakness in details with your knack of greater themes. Remember that it's okay that it takes more of your energy than you think. That's only natural when you're strengthening a weaker muscle. I realize also at work, when I'm prepping food and like doing dishes and like putting them in different places, I get like a burst of energy to like clean the back and like do tasks that I'm not like told to do, just like make the place nicer and more pleasant to be in, and like just clean it. Because they're not really on my ass about like cleaning the whole place usually. So I'll be doing that and like focusing on little parts of the back kitchen. And then I'd be making sure that everything's clean, all the stuff is arranged fine, and then I would just like find myself really drained after doing that, because it would take actual focus for me to like think about, hey, should this go here? What would be the most convenient thing to do here? Is cleaning this really important because at the end of the shift it's gonna get dirty again, so should I clean it at the end of the shift? And it's like all of this stuff is pretty simple and like automatic, like I don't think about it, but it drains my energy a lot to like think about details. And I realized, I guess, because it doesn't come that easy to me. So I like that I pointed out not to be hard on myself about that, and that it's okay, it takes up more energy. Because it takes up more energy, I'm like, what's the point of even doing it? Like, I'll just get hungry faster and I'll get like crankier because I'm doing these things, so I could just not do them. But again, it's better to do them. They make life better and help avoid mistakes and misunderstandings. And makes me a more whole person. So yeah, there's that. And I wrote, refrain from talking about yourself exclusively, spark conversations that always include the other person or persons, and give opportunity for expansion. Learn to tolerate other, especially opposite lifestyles and people. They deserve equal love and respect. This is really basic, really basic things. You don't need to understand. Your only job is to respect and love. Think about what topics interest the other person and ask questions for them to talk about it and spark flow. I mean, I already make an active effort to do these kinds of things, but it's good to remind myself of it, of course. And I like the part where I tell myself I don't have to understand things, because, you know, I tend to be like, how does this work? Or why is this like this? Or da-da-da-da-da. And especially when it comes to people, it can get, and like philosophy, and like, it can get a little sticky, because there's no definitive answer like why someone is the way they are. Like, there might be clues or da-da-da-da-da, but you really don't know at the end of the day what someone's going through or like what's in their head. So kind of just letting things go, letting things run their course, because sometimes I see people and I'm like, oh, but only if you did this, like your life could be so much easier, or like you'd suffer so much less. And it's like, it's not my job to meddle. It's, even though I want to help, it's not my job. And just kind of letting people's lives unfold how they're meant to unfold. It's just something that I'm sitting with and just really kind of letting go of. But yeah, that's it. I feel so much better after this conversation. And I'll upload it. Maybe it helps, so bye.